worldview is going to shrink simply just based on the people that you interact with on Facebook.
Why you don't get your news from Facebook? So now we are taking you to Lansing.
Time together again. That I would. I listened to you tell me long there's no societal.
Not alone, that you're feeling whatever and being public.
That's over. I was so confused. What had he just done to me and why? It was awful and embarrassing. I could feel his hands touching me, and that was the first time I had my first flashback. Into
the voice
remind you of that.
While hitting these new highs, agency
and local authorities.
Hello, I'm Bill Whitaker with 60 Minutes. We'd like to speak with Congressman Marino.
This is an industry that's out of control. If they don't follow the law, people die.
We would not have known about this in about 60 minutes.
I did see the report. We're going to look into the report. We're going to take it very seriously.
They were just drug dealers in lab coats.
You know what a chilling picture that paints?
Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen is soon going to take questions from the Senate Judiciary Committee. You will recall
Some of his victims are speaking in court today. And now the victims are some of the victims that are speaking are minors, malnourished. They were sent to local hospitals for treatment, and police were tipped off by one of the kids.
Malnourished, so pale.
Neighbors tell CBS News of them were adults. The oldest is 29.
And, if they act
views on immigration.
9 Democratic votes to pass any measure to fund the government passed this Friday's deadline. Republicans warn if there is a shutdown, Democrats could get the blame. And privately, some Democrats worry about that possibility. Vlad and Anne Marie, the greatest chance for some kind of bipartisan agreement at this point appears to lie with those quiet talks that have been taking place quickly if they want to get something done by Friday.
Nancy Cordes, thank you.
Gymnastics the following year when she was 13 because she went drugs and she never really recovered. The worst part for her was that this was a man that was supposed to be my husband for her did it so very well. So and face. Thank you. You may proceed.
Your Honor, life through a child and physically again, and scars of being. Excuse me. The other day, I saw in the news that an Olympic gymnast heal into scars, and these scars girls an individual tragedy.
Sad. And
to me, he was like a nice. My mom and aunts. He had pictures of Olympians and thank you notes from floor to ceiling in the MSU world. And sobbed, felt a rush of every emotion and solidified my belief that I have
her privacy.
I meant these
ways as their approach. There are buried within a larger number.
TPS holders work in key industries, as you know, performing.
Times have had a sharply negative that the 2015 rule.
H-1B, but all the great things we're doing. Man.
Legal restrictions
themselves and the American people.
Okay, turning to the department's counterterrorism efforts.
2 individuals were convicted. They'd been here. Describe trying to questions.
Secure our border. All.
Cutters. Thank you.
To respond to local communities and so the Border Patrol point out a vulnerability in our system. We passed the Trafficking Victims Protection Reauthorization.
Yes. As the Department of
You cannot become a doctor without a residency. A residency is a job. Do you remember the president?
He did ask as
Remember the 6/2017. Give him a chance. Why did he
do?
We gave you every penny you asked for.
Sir, it's not the pennies. It's closing the loopholes.
Waiting for the thing once somebody gets into the system.
I can tell you.
At least in terms of
we're looking at illicit trafficking. What we need to do is
to find out does that
threats of try to test our systems and where they can extract information and perhaps disrupt
patients whatsoever.
State.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
If you can forgive.
Are there any circumstances under which what is CBP doing to level the playing field for domestic manufacturers? We had talked before with the USCIS decision to suspend the premium processing for the visa.
And take you to the White House where the president.
The continuing investigation
attack on our democracy.
Investigations by special. Yes, you will have our best
conversation to avoid.
The of your department is in overseeing state emergency alert systems.
Alert and warning from a state, both that it is disseminated properly, but also that we can verify. Issuing initial alerts, understanding the basis on which they have been alerted, and then, of course, making.
From my part of the world to close.
What about Steve Bannon? I cannot remember. It was Martin Luther King that said, "There's nothing in this world more dangerous than saying, 'Get out of my country.'" Hey, hurt. And
I agree with you more that the Department of Homeland Security has a duty to stop and prevent violence through news reporting after.
Phase 1 and not included in phase 1 who are not crooks, drug dealers, rapists, felons. I think Dick Durbin. Yeah, I think
words. Another. The impact of those who that's not my question. Not have who have history.
That's
it is also
locations are. IG, the actual
threat was not mentioned. Thank you. I have no further questions.
Story of torture.
Language.
As former chief strategist, what do you expect the questions to be asked in that room, and why do you think they want?
And acting upon this will be 7.
How many of them were indeed shackled?
I gather that not all of them.
But conduct
to kid.
And
the young girl, the 17-year-old who escaped, as we've been saying, can you talk about supposed to?
with regard to
are so males, and they're all together.
And they are the ones who are over 18?
These are the 18 to 29-year-olds.
Okay.
Most of the on their own to the fact that
I've already
not just a
Are they
about 30 miles about DACA, the program that protects the president's most controversial 9 p.m. East mouthpiece for the one of them is 20 teams. The team is led not hear him make those disparaging remarks.
did President Trump use
and was the period.
Jamal, you know there's been a great deal of bad blood over the president's alleged comments. How do you think that's going to impact 17 wasn't a
And one of those is the desire.
What is he?
why our mentors whose notice
before she got sick.
Control.
And Catherine Miles.
Investigators feared spreading mass.
Thank you very much. To our that massive tax cut market is way up. GDP in particular, it was stuck and heading down. And we took off restrictions. They have people ran across.
About the vulgar language.
The other word?
Its own advice, and they think spending in immigration times, even as he was in
pivotal moment.
Once the fights against the alternative media could be just the beginning of actually censoring the freedom of speech and suppression of the freedom of speech in France.
The nonprofit media watchdog group Reporters Without Borders says it's not opposed to a law against fake news, but allowing any possible government censorship would be dangerous.
But the point is to be able to write a law without endangering the freedom to reveal things about political, social, economical life.
France isn't the only government taking action over the internet. A German law went into effect this month that cracks down on hate speech on social network sites. Terry Okita, CBS News, London. We're going to take a quick break. More news ahead. This is CBSN.
as part of a special counsel, Robert Mueller's probe into Russia meddling in the 2016 election.
Drag all of this out again right before those midterms. But the reason the judge had to push it back, which are these trials, and it dredges everything up again. So again, even if the president or none other people want to end a lawsuit like this, introduced just a few months before he was indicted. Paul Manafort was filing papers that estimated
speaking to give details of the President Trump said no. But today he said he still hopes that they can reach a deal.
We're working on
describing certain countries.
The president used tough language in general.
His former chief strategist, what do you expect the questions to be asked in that room? And why do you think
election, even if he was not in the instance of a exactly that, and it's just, I think the biggest more humane immigration system, or back in 2013, fall of 2013, there was the shutdown over the Affordable Care Act, Republicans making bipartisanship happen. Those is true.
Saying that he wants more.
Thing is from America
because of what they're worried about.
I am not aware. I don't know what you mean by arrangement. We have a lot of agreements with them to increase border security.
To investigators who were actually found really to a child endangerment, and also torture. We didn't get as many. They were called by God to have torture.
So difficult to hear. Have been forced out since this weekend. Mayon is the Philippines' most active volcano. It erupted about Olympic gold medalist Simone Biles is the latest. Authorities say that charged with 3 counts of murder and 1 count of tampering with evidence, but could be
during Hurricane Harvey.
Exercise.
Current physician to the president. He will provide a doctor's evaluation, president's private and that information.
President Donald field were normal. Arteries were normal. Were grossly normal. No massive capillary refill. I'm going to very briefly go over some. His fasting blood glucose was 89. No immunization to prevent. Discuss diet, exercise, and weight loss. He would benefit from a diet that is lower in fat and carbohydrates, and from to incorporate a good plan so that we can meet those goals.
Thank you, Dr. Jackson.
Yes. A guest or the
healthiest individual ever elected.
This indicates low activity.
No, not at all. 60 to 65% is a normal ejection fraction. That's not. There's no. Lots of institutions use that test. It's the one that they use at Walter Reed for patients that they feel like they need. Do you want to answer one, or do you just want to have? He had a I think so. Technically, he has non-clinical. That I would bring that up to the. And the cognitive testing that we did, and just my day-to-day interactions with the president. The president gets congestion and things of that nature. But for the most part, one of the things I found about President Trump, didn't nature too. He has incredible genes. I just assume. I mean, if cutting the calories and the fats and the carbohydrates as much as we possibly can, and still making
looking something like that would be. How can you tell the American people that this time you're certain?
Some other form of calculation wouldn't have really changed anything clinically for us. information on that, next year. And then what was the other question? Sleep aids. The president does take, I won't make that assessment without doing a lot of the objective testing that we just did this time. So, and then the other question was a bit of a germaphobe and make my job a little bit easier along the way.
Other OCD behaviors? Any other
he had a large dose of, it looks, I did not test his hearing.
Part of the decision-making process on handing over power to the vice president or whoever while he's sedated?
I'll be making recommendations. So, I think, a lot of people are
this, that, the other.
No, the way he's, there is a certain amount of if
Jackson, the president is the first lifelong teetotaler.
Stand on that.
Sure. I mean, I think those are all. Am I working? I want you to answer. I'll tell you that. Totally unaware of ever proposed. One more question.
Yeah.
Back there.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks again.
President's health because it's late in the afternoon and we've been in the room for an hour, and I know Democrats, the real that we've laid out, permanent. When he had a large group of people here, the president wanted to have multiple people that have been sitting in the Oval Office today is because he isn't a scripted robot. He's somebody who tells things. Sorry, we're going to agree. I'd have to. No, yeah.
By the president's physician.
Well, the White House, I think, it's never been employed, but they. Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen up on Capitol.
That the judge's move to something that is
and further decrease his cardiac.
From the book Fire and Fury. Here's what the doctor said the president told him before this briefing.
Used tough language in general, as did other congressmen in the room. Yes, sir.
At the White
House. In the interest of investigators, beyond was the associate of the Trump this deep shutdown. What matters are the broad conditions of politics, and I highly doubt that that's.
And your amnesia is, and that pain.
And it's unacceptable. Sir, that
go on. Actually, as to quoted as saying that they weren't able to answer the question.
Security forces continue to pursue the few ISIS fighters that seek to threaten the people of Iraq.
It's focused on signals intelligence.
Allowed officials to
desert. When the inevitable happens, he's lost 4 established abroad. ISIS put a
erupting volcano. The mother
to me was so twisted.
That the judge's move.
Specific word.
Who talks about the country?
They were able to out their can leaders who, by the way,
Capitol Hill
during the campaign
in the fall, his investigation.
Stop whatever you're doing.
Women's Olympics. He's giving the details.
Because Friday was a good day, and it gave me a lot of it made
language.
If I
language, the point.
Russian lawyer in 2016, quote, treasonous. Jamel Bowie is the chief.
Existence of a document. Faith, anything the president, which is to say, from the
Homeland Security.
I couldn't agree with you more. Work. That's my priority, sir. That's what I'm focused on.
Well, let's then talk about that.
Mouths of this home.
Safe for residents. The campaign against ISIS has resulted in over 4.5 million people in Iraq.
That he has managed to
from digital media. But this will be killed.
Lava and ash. The evacuation. The measles. A passenger with the high. And 60 years in federal prison. At the state's emergency.
Target alert to people.
The original.
Were indicted in October as part of a special.
President or other people want to say, oh, it's wrapping up. Well, even if the investigation wraps up, these prosecutions are going to go.
Had just fired.
Bureau Chief Susan Page.
News is outlets.
Was hard for her, but that she completely 19
games. Well, these games. Is testifying before the House and.
A spending deal without a fix to protect dreamers. A few have already said their answer is no.
Legal status. They just think that that is going to incentivize other people to come here illegally. So agreement, in fact, they believe that they can get it into legislative language by tomorrow night.
President Walter Reed Hospital last. Yeah.
And makes his own job change the speculation. I think anyone can.
Muscle was normal rupture, and that's essentially to lower your from Georgia.
And the people down here are not exactly used to it, and it could be a good.
On a neighbor security.
Call the cop out.
Males power is with, and they all endure different things and probably
guilty to molesting dozens of
all to bring you into this world.
language in a meeting about immigration. It put his Homeland Security Secretary in a difficult position.
Steve Bannon to participate in all these different investigations, but when it came to the House, and
while it's still How soon should children be given smartphones in today's technology-obsessed society? So things like that, setting down some ground rules.
Friday.
States in the South have declared states of emergency as we track snow and ice stretching from
Reports of found another bill that is taking shape in the House. Thought that Republicans were giving too much, that this might anger the president's base, and so
duty for the remainder of this term and even for the remainder of another term
can be made. Say necessarily,
Well, I think very positive signs. In addition, however, we also learned that he does have coronary artery disease.
And the region is under a winter storm warning, and it's going to worsen overnight.
If you don't have to be on
It was extremely dirty, and as we reported previously,
what sort of condition?
Age of them. I'm a man of God, and this sounded a little too embarrassing.
I have experienced.
She was 15. 29-year-old Nicole Seuss
Was everyone in the room?
Do want a deal, and that they're to say president, staff, and former staff who have really key knowledge of what happened.
All right, Aisha Roscoe, and how to limit some of those risks.
And so there's a lot of different how responsible can hard to encourage parents. Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, again, I think it speaks to balance.
Yeah.
I think if the kids are only
new under the sun.
On President Trump.
It seems that the objective here was to deter the Assad regime from doing this again.
It's brought seen the president generally
emotionally set of circumstances. There is still just
dismissed his FBI director on May 9th. The president's letter read in part, "While I greatly unfold."
You did, and a big the explanation of what the president's abilities were
on the Russian.
I
think it's
fourth, which is
average state's legislature, similar to how West Virginia was formed. They cite high taxes and found
the children are seen getting into a van. Riverside County Sheriff's Captain Greg Fellows says conditions and
very powerful going to take each
regarding this case as of yet. How do investigators determine the motivation?
That's why that issue has to be difficult. It does seem like
the California. Some of those risks. For their attention.
we think about, well, maybe.
Once a child does have access,
Yeah.
Rejoinder to that.
Kids need their.
A new called Mon-Thu.
An exercise.
Exam. This is the first.
We're involved in a crime.
No.
Zeus was a skater.
16 election.
Specific word.
The end of the week.
This is turned into.
For the first time. Imprisoning their 13
cell phone. Show the family.
Be right back.
Oh, what the?
Nerd.
Kentucky. Investigators found Blaze Bernstein's body in a shallow grave at a California park last week.
Specific word.
Also,
well, they say they.
So what about that? Is the White?
What did he say? About confidential.
2 weeks after. Meteor fireball. NASA is counting down to its next journey to Mars. Scientists, smartphones, and social.
But I know kids can abide by the 2 hours a recommendation.
Some ground rules, and I do have a tendency
using more than.
Mark.
In fact, all the way north to Maine.
Mark, thank you. Millions of people.
What was that?
Cory Booker seemed is going to incentivize other people to come here illegally. So that's the first group. There's a second group that turned around and rejected it. Really been upended this year, so Democrats don't know what to think either, and that is what makes a
piece that Dr. Jackson said President Trump is absolutely fit for duty. Do you think that Tuesday's report of the
stops and chats but doesn't
you want to and I think it's the same cause that we would have for anybody who has these risk factors. And we have ways to
Slater